What's up, everybody? I know it's been quite a while since I've done a video for you guys. Wanted to try and experiment today. Was in the mood for meatloaf, but like everything else I do, it's never normal. So everyone's familiar with Swiss rolls or rouladen, where you take meat and you roll it up. Well, there's a method you can do with meatloaf where you roll it out, stuff it with cheese, spinach, whatever. Me being me, it's going to be meat on meat on meat, but we're going to end up smoking it as well. So what I like to call the Farmer's Feast Swiss roll meatloaf. We've got beef, pork, turkey, all rolled together. So we're going to go on. Let's start with the recipe. I'm kind of throwing it together. It's a little bit different every time I make it, but here's the method we're going to go with today. Gonna need eggs for meatloaf. Every time I make meatloaf, I don't like using breadcrumbs. I like using stuffing. So we're gonna use some stuffing. My special seasoning, I like to call it my Phoenix rub, because it's a dry heat. Think of Frank's Red Hot and Sriracha, but in powder form. Don't like using milk, I like using beef broth for that extra beefy flavor. Barbecue sauce instead of ketchup adds a little bit of smokiness. As always, crushed garlic, a little bit of mustard. My spicy Italian sausage adds an extra layer of flavor. Lean beef. The sausage is going to add a whole bunch of fat that you don't need from the beef, so we're going to cut the fat out of the beef and rely on the fat from my Italian sausage and turkey. So, what we're going with is, like me, trust me, I'm Ukrainian, we go over and above. This is going to be about 6 pounds of meat. So, 3 pounds of beef, 2 pounds of pork, 1 pound of turkey. I made sure I picked up a pack that was 1.345 kilograms, which is 3 pounds. Conveniently, they packed this 454 grams, which is 1 pound. My sausage, 1.2, which, funnily enough, works out to 2 pounds, broken up into 12 perfect sections. So 2 pounds, 900 grams, 9 sausages, perfectly measured out. We're going to be taking it out of the casing, going to be doing it all up. I will give you the exact measurements if you need it, but separate your breadcrumbs as you need. We're going to make equal portions according to the amount of weight in our meat. So I'm going to get everything all mixed up, and we'll come back once everything's all separated and combined. So there's the measurements for you guys. We have 3 pounds of beef, 2 pounds of pork, 1 pound of turkey, and there's the grams if you want there as well. Works out to 8 eggs for my meatloaf recipe. So there's 4 eggs, 3 eggs, 1 egg. When you come to the stuffing, it's 3 boxes, 1.5 boxes for the beef, 1 box for the pork, half a box for the turkey. When it comes to the broth, we've got 2 cups. Works out to 1 cup, 2/3 of a cup, 1/3 cup. And that's the breakdown. Each one is going to get mixed individually in the bowl. I'm not so much worried about cross-contamination because everything's getting cooked, but I do give her a good rinse off. see you back when we're all combined. So we're all pretty much combined now. Hamburger, got my pork, got my turkey. Now that everything's pretty much combined, I'm going to work in my garlic and my mustard. I'm going to leave my barbecue sauce as a paint layer in between, and we'll get to it there. So there you got about 4 heavy tablespoons of minced garlic. So we'll get that all worked in, and then we'll start rolling it out. Okay, so what I've done is I've brought out a cookie sheet, lined it with plastic. It'll help with the rolling process. So we're gonna start off with the beef, obviously. I'm gonna want it to fill in the dimensions of here. Once we get up to the sausage and the turkey, it's a little more watery, you'll find, because you want it easier to spread, and it's gonna supply moisture to the beef that's a little more drier and denser. And a Danny rolling pin. Just grab the rolling pin, get rid of some high spots. Sheet o' meat. And this way you're infusing flavor throughout the entire piece of meat, but also it acts as almost like a binder in between the layers, which is nice. I feel like an artist. Layer number 2. Now at this point, instead of using extra meat, this is where you can stuff your meatloaf. Cheese, ham, spinach, whatever you so choose. Like I said, I'm going meat, 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 because I'm going to smoke it, and I want smoked meat. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Special secret ingredient, my Phoenix rub. So I'm just going to let this relax for about 10-15 minutes, and then we're going to start rolling her up. Okay, so we're back. So I let everything chill out for about 10 minutes, let those breadcrumbs, that stuffing, absorb some of that moisture. Laid it out on a piece of foil, which is going to help me facilitate the roll. This is probably going to take you, or it should take you, as long as mixing your ingredients. You want to take your time with it, be slow, be patient, and roll her up. And there is our meat log. I'm just gonna tuck in the ends a little bit. I'm gonna wrap it up in the foil, put it back in the fridge for about an hour, let it really congeal. Then I'm going to start up the smoker, go at about 250 for an hour, check the temperature. If we're about 3/4 of the way there, that's when I'm going to glaze it with my barbecue sauce and take it the rest of the way. From here, if you don't have a smoker, throw it in the oven. Obviously, in the oven, I'd probably crank it up to about 350, 375, because you're not taking advantage of that low smoke temperature. But I'm going to wrap this up, set it aside, and then we'll come back in about an hour when we're ready to smoke. Well guys, my smoker is smoker rating. My burrito of meat is ready to go. I'm gonna throw it on the smoker and we'll just give it some time. Guys in an hour. Well folks, 45 minutes in, let's take a look. Starting to get some nice brown coloring. Coming in about 180-ish. Halfway there. Well, my dudes, 1 hour, 15 minutes in. About 1:05, give it another half hour, and then we'll start glazing. Okay guys, final check-in. We should be around where I want right before I glaze it. I'm hoping for about 120-ish. Yep, so that's about where I want it before I glaze it. I'm gonna take her out, glaze it, crank it up to about 350 and take her the rest of the way. Hard to do with just one hand, but you get the point, I think. So there it is, in total about 2.5 hours. Just gonna tint her up and then we'll slice it up. Well, we rested for 15 minutes. Let's give her a go. Swiss roll meatloaf.